Welcome to today's deep dive. We're going to unlock some secrets about how to fuel your brain. So many people are curious about how their food choices impact how they feel their mood, their focus, even their memory long term. And we're going to break down the science behind what to eat for a better brain. What is this supercomputer between our ears even made of?
It's a surprising fact. The human brain is about 60% fat. Now, before you reach for that bag of chips, it's crucial to understand we're talking essential fats.
Okay, not all fats are created equal.
Right. The real VIPs here are things like omega-3 fatty acids.
Omega-3.
Yeah, salmon, walnuts, chia seeds.
The foods everyone's buzzing about.
Exactly.
Okay, so what makes these omega-3s so essential for our brains?
Well, you can imagine your brain cells, each having protective walls, allowing smooth communication with each other, right?
Okay.
Those walls, we call them cell membranes, they rely heavily on omega-3s for their structure and flexibility. And without them, well, that communication breaks down.
So it's like building a house with flimsy walls, shaky foundation, the whole thing's compromised. We need the right materials for optimal brain construction.
Precisely. And it's not just about the fats either. We've got proteins, think of them as the construction workers, constantly repairing and building new brain cells. And then we have amino acids, the messengers, relaying crucial signals between those cells.
Wow. It's amazing how much is going on up there. Now, I've always been fascinated by the food-mood connection. Why does a turkey dinner make me want to take a nap? Is it just me?
No, you're tapping into something pretty fascinating there, actually. Turkey, it's packed with tryptophan.
Tryptophan.
It's an amino acid, and our bodies convert it into things like serotonin and melatonin.
Ah, the hormones of happiness and sleep. Okay, that explains the post-Thanksgiving feast slump. So are there other ways our food choices are impacting our mood and our brain function? I mean, beyond turkey and naps.
Absolutely. There are tons.
Okay.
What we eat has such a profound impact on everything. Our focus, our concentration, even our long-term brain health. It's really incredible. And while we've touched on the importance of healthy fats and proteins.
Right.
There are also these unsung heroes we can't forget about.
Okay, what are those?
Micronutrients.
Micronutrients. Now, what are those again?
Vitamins and minerals.
Oh, right.
They might seem kind of insignificant, but they're actually essential for a healthy brain. Take antioxidants, for example.
Antioxidants.
Yeah, found in those colorful fruits and vegetables. They're like your brain's personal bodyguards.
Bodyguards.
Yeah. So our cells are under constant attack from these things called free radicals.
Free radicals.
They're unstable molecules. They're generated by all kinds of things. Pollution, processed foods, even just our normal metabolic processing.
Wow. Okay.
And they can actually cause damage, kind of like rust damaging a car,
So antioxidants prevent our brains from rusting? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. They neutralize those harmful free radicals. So they protect our brain cells and promote healthy cognitive function. And that is why a diet full of colorful fruits and vegetables is so crucial.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, we can't talk about brain food without addressing the elephant in the room, carbs.
Right.
There's just so much conflicting information out there. So what's the deal? What's the deal with carbs and our brains?
It's true. Carbs get a pretty bad rap. But the reality is our brains actually need glucose for energy.
Okay.
And that glucose comes from carbohydrates.
Okay, so they're not all bad.
No, not at all.
Okay.
The key is choosing the right kind of carbs.
Okay, so not all carbs are created equal either.
Exactly.
Okay.
Think of it this way. Simple carbs, those are the ones in processed foods and sugary drinks. They're like kindling for a fire, right?
Okay.
They burn bright, but they burn fast, and that leads to those sugar rushes and crashes.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right. Now, complex carbs, on the other hand, they're like those slow-burning logs, you know?
Okay, I like where this is going.
They give you that sustained energy, keeping your brain fueled for the long haul.
The slow burn. So what are some examples of these slow-burning log carbs?
Well, we've got our whole grains like brown rice and quinoa.
Right.
Legumes like lentils and chickpeas. And, of course, you can't forget about those fiber-rich fruits and vegetables. These guys are digested more slowly, and that prevents those wild blood sugar spikes and crashes that can affect our focus and energy.
Right. So it's not just about what we eat, it's how it's affecting our blood sugar and energy levels, too.
Yeah.
This whole deep dive has me looking at food in a completely new light.
It's about making those conscious food choices that support all the incredible capabilities of your brain. Think of it this way. You're choosing the fuel that powers your mental Ferrari.
I like that. No more putting just any old gas in that high-performance machine. So, to wrap things up, if there's one key takeaway you really want our listener to walk away with today, what would it be?
I think, more than anything, food isn't just about nourishing our bodies. It's also about nourishing our minds.
Yeah.
And when we choose a balanced diet, one that's rich in these brain-boosting nutrients we've talked about, we're investing in our long-term cognitive health and well-being.
It's honestly incredible, how the food that we choose to eat can have such a profound impact on something as complex as our brains. What are your thoughts? What about adding even just one brain-boosting food to your routine? Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. And until next time, keep those brains fueled and those minds curious.
Yeah, you're actually remembering something really important there, the glycemic index.
Glycemic index.
Yeah, or GI for short.
Yeah.
Basically, it measures how quickly a food makes your blood sugar spike.
Okay.
And foods with a really high GI, I think white bread, sugary drinks, your blood sugars shoot up,
Sure.
and that leads to those dreaded energy crashes.
Right. Like we were talking about.
Exactly. But low GI foods, things like that brown rice and those lentils we mentioned, they release energy a lot more gradually. So you're getting that nice, sustained energy that's so much better for keeping your brain going strong.
So it's really fascinating. It's not just about what we eat, but it's how those foods, like how they actually affect our blood sugar and our energy levels that matters too. This deep dive has seriously changed my whole perspective on food.
I hear that a lot. It's really all about making these conscious choices about what we eat, right? Supporting those incredible capabilities that your brain has.
Right.
It's like you said, you're choosing the fuel that powers your mental Ferrari.
I love that analogy. What kind of fuel are you putting in your brain? Think about it. No more just any old gas in this high-performance machine.
Well, we've reached the end of our deep dive, but before we go, is there one key takeaway? If there's one thing you really want our listeners to remember, what would it be? I think more than anything, it's so important to remember that food isn't just about nourishing our bodies, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's about nourishing our minds as well.
Mm-hmm.
And when we choose to eat that balanced diet, when we prioritize those brain-boosting nutrients that we've talked so much about today, we're really making an investment in our long-term cognitive health and our well-being.
It's amazing how powerful food can be, right? The fact that it can have such an impact on something as complex and incredible as our brains, it's really pretty remarkable. So we want to hear from you. What about adding, even if it's just one brain-boosting food to your routine? What comes to mind? Let us know. We always love to hear from you. And until next time, keep those brains fueled and those minds curious.